Am I the asshole for refusing to split my college funds with my stepsister? My mom passed away when I was 10. My parents were already divorced at this point, so I was the sole beneficiary of her estate, so I have a trust fund which my granddad manages for me until I turn 25. I'm currently 18. As a part of the trust, my mother left me behind some money to pay for college which I will be getting access to soon. My dad remarried my stepmother shortly after his divorce with my mother and she has two daughters, Hannah, 16 and Emma, 18. Since my mom passed, I've been living with my dad full-time and spend school holidays with my grandparents. For the first few years, things were okay, but then my stepsisters started to complain about my time with my grandparents because they took me and my cousins on fancy international trips and they were jealous, and my dad started trying to force me to limit contact with them. My grandparents ended up threatening to sue my dad for grandparents' rights, so he stopped. Instead, he started refusing to give me permission to fly abroad and wouldn't let me keep all of the gifts my grandparents bought me. Recently, my dad and stepmom sat me and Emma down and informed us that they wouldn't be able to help us with college because they'd run into some financial trouble a few years ago and had to use the money to keep us afloat. Emma was devastated, and when I didn't have the same reaction, my dad asked me why I wasn't upset. I explained that I still have the money mom left me, that my grandparents also had a separate college fund for me, and that my aunts and uncle, mom's siblings, also had smaller college funds for me. My aunt on my dad's side also gave me $5,000 as a high school graduation gift, money for college, so I should be able to complete my degree without needing to get any loans as long as I work part-time too. My dad already knew about the money my mom left me, but he had no idea about the rest. Emma and my stepmom started insisting I had to share the college funds with Emma, otherwise it wouldn't be fair. I refused. This is my mom's family's money, so I don't think I should share with someone who isn't even related to them. My stepmom started screaming at me and calling me ungrateful for all of the things she's done for me, and that she was going to sue me for all of the money she spent on me growing up. My dad got angry with her and told her to stop, and now they're not speaking to each other. He said he's happy that I'll be able to go to college without any debts, but if I would please consider giving her at least one of the smaller funds. Since then, Emma and Hannah have been horrible to me. My stepmom keeps forcing me to do all of Emma's chores, and Hannah said if our parents divorce it'll be all of my fault for being a greed bitch. Am I the asshole?
Not the asshole. Tell yourself grandparents what's happening. Can you go live with them? I'd get out of the house. They will continue to treat you like crap. Not the asshole. Now that you are 18, you should consider going to live with your mom's relatives to get away from your stepmom.
Absolutely not the asshole. It's your money from your family, and you should keep it to go to college like you planned. On a side note, some of your life sounds sorta like Cinderella.
Not the asshole, but you should learn to keep your personal financial information to yourself.
Not the asshole. Life isn't always fair. Your grandparents don't owe your stepsisters anything, and your dad tried to ruin your relationship with them. I suggest you move out for now and stay with your grandparents for a while. Maintain contact with your dad, but live separately. Not the asshole, at all. I despair at the way your father has handled this. Their mother still being alive is the priceless treasure that they are forgetting in all their jealousy. It would be a kindness to share some of the money, but you're under no obligation to share money that your mother's family has put aside to support your goals. Your parents' marriage isn't your burden to bear either.
Not the asshole. You are 18, can you stay with your grandparents now? Your father and stepmother have no say in where you live anymore.
Not the asshole. Move the heck out of there. What a horrible stepmom story.
Not the asshole. You're 18 now. I would pack my things and move to my grandparents.
Not the asshole, and your dad knows it. He is just trying to convince you to share. I think you should talk to your grandparents about how your stepmom is treating you and what has happened. They would have a better insight on what to do. But absolutely do not share the money your mom left for you. Your step-family side is trying to take advantage of what you were left with. Also, your stepmom has no ground to sue you. She marries your dad, so she is obligated to provide for you. I wish you the best, and talk to your grandparents, maybe they can help you more.
Jesus. Not the asshole. They have such a high sense of entitlement that they believe they have a right to your dead mother's money, that was specifically designated for your college. If I were I'd agree to give them a small fund, like your dad said, and hand them both $1 or £1, wherever you are.
Not the asshole. You're 18. Get out of this abusive household and go live with your grandparents. They would be happy to have you.
Not the asshole, and hell no, they shouldn't get a dime of that money. If I were you, I'd be looking to stay with your grandparents since you are 18 and can now make that decision. Your stepmom is a monster and so are her offspring. They're petty, jealous, immature and entitled. Do you think for 1 second they'd share any fun they had with you? They definitely wouldn't, and your stepmom would chew you out for even suggesting it. You need to get away from these awful people.
Not the asshole. That money was left for you to further your education. Think of it in the way of what would those who have added to the fun want you to do. In a few weeks you'll be out of there, just hang tight till then, and then if it were me I'd limit it to family contact only. Not the asshole, it's your money. That doesn't sound like a great place to live, would you be able to go live with your grandparents instead? Not the asshole, fuck that noise. Your mother left that money for you, for your future, not for anyone else. It isn't even a question that you are so emphatically not the asshole for using it exactly how your mother intended.
Not the asshole, you might have a college fund but, your stepsister has her biological mother in her life. Any money you have from your mother and her family is not good luck, it is good planning in horrible circumstances. Not the asshole, it's your money, you can do whatever you want with it. I think it would be better if you went to live with your grandparents instead. Your stepmom and sisters are entitled as hell and your dad barely tries to stand up for you, better cut them out of your life as early as possible.
Not the asshole. I also have a trust fund due to my mother passing when I was 2. I am 18 now and just gained full access to the account. I would never ever let someone touch my money. It's sentimental to me because it is attached to my mom. Tell your stepsisters to suck it.
Not the asshole, it's your money, and frankly your stepmother and sisters don't sound like very nice people.
Absolutely not the asshole.
Not the asshole, please consider going to stay with your grandparents until you go to school. You shouldn't be treated like this.
Not the asshole, that isn't your stepmother's or stepsister's money to use. Don't budge on giving them money. Life isn't fair. It sounds like they've been taking from you over the past several years due to jealousy and to make it fair, which is wrong because it is not rightfully theirs.
Not the asshole. This is from your mother and her family, who have nothing to do with your stepsister. You have no obligation to share it. If anything, now the parents can focus all their money on helping your stepsister and not on you. I'm glad your dad backed you up. If they ever make you feel unsafe though, try to live with your grandparents. Money can make people crazy.
Not the asshole. Echoing that you should go live with your mom's family now that you're 18.
Not the asshole. I wouldn't have divulged as much as you did, and IDK how much of what you said came off as bragging, but I would have alluded to my grandparents having already taken care of it. And #X200B. It's something that a grandparent decided to do for a grandchild, so, even if it's an alteration of the truth, the ex couldn't go to them and insist upon them paying for some other person's child's college education.
Not the asshole, and don't you dare hand anything over. The entitlement alone is a deal breaker, not to mention having to do all the chores.
Not the asshole. Absolutely not. Don't give them a cent. You're 18 now, if you want to move in with your grandparents you can.
Not the asshole. You don't owe them anything. I would move out if I couldn't live with my grandparents at this point.
Not the asshole. That is your money provided to you by your mom and her family. It is not your fault that your stepmom was not able to provide the same resources for her children.
Not the asshole at all. It would be one thing if one of their parents was married to your mom when she died, but their mom is married to your mom's ex-husband. There is no reason for them to get any of that money.
Not the asshole. This is some twisted shit. It's your money. You don't have to do anything with it you don't want to. Particularly not to benefit people who don't treat you with dignity and respect.
Not the asshole. It is not your fault that your stepmother did to prepare for her children's college. She had 18 years of notice. And if she fell into hard times a few years ago, she should have looked into getting another job or lowering her expenses instead of taking from her savings. Now your siblings will have to make do with whatever your stepmom and dad can save from their own income, get jobs themselves, or go into debt. Perhaps your stepmom can pick up a second job if she wants to pay for their education. Their money problems should not become your problem.
This is incredibly fake. I don't get why people feel the need to post these fake stories.
Not the asshole. My stepmom started screaming at me and calling me ungrateful for all of the things she's done for me. And yet, paying for college somehow slipped off that list.
Not the asshole, but also, don't tell anyone else about your money.
Not the asshole, but, like everyone who comes here, your first mistake was. I explained that I still have the money mom left me, that my grandparents also had a separate college fund for me, and that my aunts and uncle mom's siblings also had smaller college funds for me. My aunt on my dad's side also gave me $5,000 as a high school graduation gift, money for college, so I should be able to complete my degree without needing to get any loans as long as I work part-time too. My dad already knew about the money my mom left me, but he had no idea about the rest. Stop talking about your money to people and they won't remember that they want to take it.
He said he's happy that I'll be able to go to college without any debts, but if I would please consider giving her at least one of the smaller funds. Next time your stepmom, Emma, and Hannah say shit like they have been to you, tell your father that you tried to reconsider it, but that their constant mistreatment of you and spiteful actions caused you to find them undeserving of charity. Not the asshole.
Not the asshole. Your stepmonster is an evil witch. If her ex-husband had any money, I could bet that none of it would go to you. But she expects this from you, from your side of the family. Your father's ex-wife's money should not be going to his current wife's kids. That should be extremely obvious. The fact that they have killed you vacations and stolen gifts from you is ridiculous. Can your grandparents and move out to them? Don't warn your father. Just pack up all your expensive and important things and leave. Does it suck that her daughters don't have money for school? Sure. But that's their problem, not yours.
Not the asshole. Not your fault, any of this. Your mother and your aunt gave you that money. They didn't bequeath it or give it to Emma. You need to get out of that house and find a more stable place to start college from. You will be amazed how good life can be without entitled, envious people around you. I would also suggest cutting off all contact with them except maybe your father, in small doses. These people are not healthy for you.
I can see how the blended family thing can create a tough situation, hard feelings, but this was way out of line. Not the asshole.
Not the asshole. You're 18. You are able to move out if you want. No need to put up with any of this. I'd get out ASAP. And honestly, once somebody threatens to sue you, your response should be to ask for all future communication to be in writing or through lawyers.
NTA. USM is an idiot if she thinks the court will give her any money for raising you. Lol. Not the asshole. And none of these people seem to care that your mother literally died and that's how you have this money. Sue you. At least now you know that any money she contributed to feeding and clothing you was given with a huge caveat. As far as I know, she's broken any bond of motherhood with that comment. You aren't responsible for your siblings. You aren't responsible for your parents. The money was given by your mother's family to you. Your sister's family on their mother's side can also give them things if they so want. Your own mother would want you to have the best life you can. So sorry you're going through this right now.
Not the asshole. I am sorry that things are so difficult for you right now. I wish you all the best at college. Not the asshole. Your step-siblings are in no way entitled to profit from your mom's side of the family. If you're 18, can't you move to your grandparents' place to get away from the persecution you are facing for not giving in to stepmoms and stepsisters' demands?
Not the asshole. And please don't give them a dime. It would be a massive disservice to your mom and her family. Your stepmom is likely to continue to punish you forever for this, and your dad is an asshole for allowing it.
Not the asshole. It sucks for Emma, and I can understand why she is upset. But she has no right to take it out on you. It's your money and you have no obligation to give it to Emma. You stepmom is the main asshole.
Not the asshole. On what planet are they entitled to a penny of your money?
Not the asshole. If you're 18, I think you can pack your shit and move in with your grandparents for a while if they're cool with it.